Welcome back to Radio Free Fredonia, where I, along with my beautiful, lovely lady Styx co-host, and our, as always, awesome, official co-host, Mr. Pink, and secondary, equally as cool, official, unofficial co-host Matty. Always right, Matty. Who I need to get to work on his t-shirt.
In spirit of being always right, Mr. Pink isn't here.
That's right. What the hell? Where's Mr. Pink? We have to cancel. No, Mr. Pink. I don't know what to do. I do love this last comment from him, but this is from a while ago. I just walked through the house and complained to the dog about all the lights being on. I have become my parents. This seems right.
It happens to all of us, I think, at some point.
Right? I feel like I have, because I'm so used to having had the kids, so I used to talk to the kids, right? Now I talk to the dogs all day, and I treat them like children, sort of. They're still dogs. There are rules, things. But, yeah. I have entire conversations like with Yuji about staying out of my laundry, you little monkey. I was also saying I get to teach elementary music tomorrow. I think
at least practicing. It's music.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I remember music where the teachers all knew how to play piano.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think that this one knows how to play, but she can't accompany, which is a skill set. It's you have to be able to play and accompany, and I don't think she can accompany. So they're like, they do pre-recorded music. I have opinions. I have opinions. She's a nice teacher, though. She's a nice lady, but learn to accompany if you're going to do this.
We had a topic suggested.
We do. We're going to work on that today. Yeah. Here, I'll even go up. Favorite characters that either we played or someone at our table has played. I have a great one that's fucked up. I don't know if we could pull it off in 1879, because 1879 did not exist when this was played. It was in a Deadlands campaign. It was Jorge and his amazing ass. It took the table a very long time for them to realize I was GMing, so I knew, but that the actual character was the amazing ass. Jorge was the sidekick. Like, they were having to get onto this train to stop a train robbery, and everyone's still failing their roles to get on it, except for the amazing ass. They're all fucking failing this, and the damn donkeys on the train, on the roof of the train. Like, it was, I don't know how long before they figured out that the amazing ass was the character. So I had a player who played a donkey. It was a sentient donkey. Couldn't speak, but it was wrong. It was the 90s. What do you want? We thought it was hilarious. Who wants to start with something a little more modern than, 80,000 years ago? There's Mr. Pink. He snuck in. We were worried. I was going to cancel. I was going to rage quit.
Well, that was not what you were talking about doing.
I was totally going to rage quit.
I am sick and coughing, so I will be muted off and on.
I'm sorry. Are you drinking enough fluids?
I will be.
Okay. You got to take care of you, because otherwise I rage quit. And I'm going to tell Ross it's your fault. I like that. All right. Who's got a good character concept that's not a donkey on the top of a train?
Well, I would like, since, what is it? Wingtail suggested it. I'd like to hear his story.
Sure, give me 1 sec. I'm just finishing my dinner.
Like any good waiter or waitress, we can also pin you down when your mouth is full of food and ask you stupid questions.
We have talents.
Yep.
There are many and a sundry, none of them useful, but we have talents.
I resemble that remark.
Hey, I have like a fleet of papillons. They'll give you
fleet?
kisses. Yeah, fleet.
Is
There's-
that the official name for a herd of them?
No, it's a fluttery. Because they're
A fluttery.
butterflies. Because they're butterflies. They can pin you down and kiss you until you're wet. Papillons. I needed to ask Ross about Frasier. Last I heard, she was recovering well. Well, she had the
that's
cone
right,
of
she
shame.
had her surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did we buy you enough time, Wingtail?
Yes. Okay. So I've got two characters. One is my own character, and then another one is from one of my friends from a game we were playing in. But my character, this was 30 some odd years ago, playing Earth Dawn. I was a Windling Windmaster. I don't remember the name because it's been so long. I don't remember what circle he was. I just know he had lots of fun doing dive attacks at every occasion. But in this case, we were in Paralength, and my GM had a house rule that however you entered Paralength, you couldn't leave that way. So if you entered through the main gates of Paralength, you would never be able to find the main gates to get out. You'd have to find some other way to get out.
That's fun.
It worked. Yeah, it worked, you know. So what we were doing is we were trying to get out, and we figured that we would try and hijack one of those rich person airship tours, and we climbed I don't know, it was a hill somewhere inside Paralength, and we were going to jump off and basically crash into this airship while it was passing kind of right below us. And I had no problems because I was a windling. I could fly, so that wasn't an issue. But a couple of my friends was a beastmaster with a Skorx for animal companion and Obsidian that doesn't climb very well. And
Yeah, but they dive real well.
yeah, so what we were doing is we were going to shoot arrows into the underside of the ship with ropes on them, and then climb up the ropes to attack the airship. And a couple of people made their rolls to get the arrows embedded strong enough, but the guy who was firing the arrow that the Obsidian was going to have to basically be hanging on to didn't do enough damage to lodge the arrow in hard enough. So we ended up getting onto the airship. The Obsidian waiting for the airship to come around the hill, or the hill and be lower, so he kind of jumped from above and hoping he wouldn't crash through all the layers of the airship. And we ended up taking over the airship. But the one thing that I really liked about the character, and the reason why it's one of my most memorable, wasn't because of any role playing. I don't know, I was a teenager at the time, so role playing is not necessarily the main thing at that age. But we had taken over the airship and we were headed out, and we were attacked by a couple of griffins from a nest or something. And I squared up, being one of the warrior types, and made the attack. Got an exceptional roll to hit, and I got an exceptional roll to damage, and it opened up, and opened up, and I did so much damage to it that I one shot killed this griffin. And all of my friends and all that were all like amazed that I'd gotten such lucky rolls and one shot this griffin. And I never let my character live it down. He was always boasting everywhere he went about how he had one shot a griffin. And I don't know, I can't remember if I took feathers or bones or claws or something like that, or made necklaces. I don't know, but probably would have done something like that. And then,
I was gonna say you gotta love exploding dice.
oh, I know it's
It's
yeah,
the bestest.
yes, it is. And then the one character that my friend that I really he played this character so well. Me and my friend group, this was, I don't know, probably about 15 years ago or so. We were in a tournament, and it was um we were all playing a group of superheroes, and I think we were using the Savage World system, I think, for superheroes. You know, Earthdawn's, ugly stepsister or stepbrother with the way that the rules kind of work. Um, and but instead of being like your typical superheroes, it was more so like mystery men superheroes. So so it was just stupid things like my one friend ended up playing a character that was a hairdresser. Don't remember what name that he was, but he role played the crap out of that character. He played him as being like one of those flamboyant hairdressers, not gay, but very flamboyant, and you'd think he was gay, but he was talking in character and just completely making being a hairdresser so a part of his character. And carrying around scissors and wanting to do the bad guys hairs while they're knocked out. And it would he played that character so well in the tournament that he ended up winning the best player as a result of it. And um yeah, blew everyone out of the water with just how he played. And yeah. And that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We were playing Mutants in Mastermind, but I played an Oracle who was agoraphobic and wouldn't leave her house. And it was such a ridiculous thing that they literally got like one of the semi truck trailers, and they turned it into kind of like a little house so that she would travel in the trailer. They would just move the trailer, including across this, time, space, dimension, because superhero games. And she refused to leave it, and everything was white. But she would say little things like there would be a bowl with some candies in it, and the candies would be a different color because her therapist said that she needed to branch out. And then she got one of those like air ferns that doesn't need dirt that you kind of missed because she needed, according to her therapist, something alive in her space. It was fun and unique and weird, but it was a good game. I like superheroes. There aren't enough superhero games. I have a Savage World ones that I want to try. Necessary Evil.
Necessary Evil, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. I just haven't found anybody who will play with me yet. But the idea, Lady Styx, is that the world's good guys, all the good superheroes, went to fight this alien invasion and they lost. So all that's left are the villains. So you are technically a villain, but the problem is what's the good of taking over the world if these aliens are going to like smash all your stuff? Nope, those guys got to go. So all of the villains have kind of banded together somewhat to get rid of the evil aliens. And I think it would be a hoot to
Right.
play.
Yeah.
It is so fun to play Necessary Evil. That was one of my main settings for a while. It's great.
See, I want to play. Maybe I should get you to play. Because so far, I don't know what it is, but it seems like people are not as hyped over superhero RPGs, and I don't know why.
I think it's because they're suffering Marvel burnout.
Maybe, but I don't know. All right, who's up next? Who's going to tell us a great story about a character? Matty. Matty's
Matty
always right,
doesn't
so I'm
have
sure he has
great
good stories.
stories.
Of course you do.
No,
You're always right. You have to have great stories. It's like in the title.
Well, trying to think of one that I haven't mentioned before when we've talked
You can,
about this before.
yeah, you can re-mention. It's okay. It's been a while.
We'll
Then
pretend like we've never
I'm-
heard it.
No, I think I've got a different one. It's a Shadowrun character based in Neo Tokyo of mine named Smile. And Smile
I like the
was she was well named because she was a rigger face. A driving rigger, not a drone rigger, although
Okay.
she had a couple of surveillance drones. And Smile had a lot of good times. But her establishing character moment was getting one of her fellow runners arrested as a distraction.
It's a good distraction. Let me guess, they didn't know ahead of time.
No, not really. So this was basically a first session together. The players are all. I didn't know these guys. We gamed together a few times, and then the group fell apart for other reasons. But
Let me guess, scheduling. The
hmm.
tables.
Yeah, well, shit happens.
Yeah.
And it's hard to play games that start at 2 a.m. when you're old.
That's true. As an old person, that's true.
So this was basically the team has just been brought together by I think it was Tanaka, the Japanese call their Johnsons. Anyway, just been given the first job, and the first job was to go and deliver a message to someone, like a "Don't fuck with us" message, and there were cops in a police box outside the place that we had to go into. So we had to get rid of the cops somehow. And I'm like, brilliant. Here we go. I will get rid of the cops. And Smile picked out the most, in her opinion, the most useless person in her crew, which happened to be an Oni. And Smile is a pure human. And Japan in 2070 is still super racist against anything that's not human. So extremely meta racist, and she played that. So she took the one orc variant member of the team and dragged him out into the street in front of the cops and started screaming at them that this guy was going to rape her. And that got the cops' attention, and they arrested the team member. And meanwhile, while with the cops distracted, the rest of the team went in and did their message delivering. And Smile refused to press charges because she didn't actually get hurt. It was just a threat. And so he was let back out, and she gave him some money for his time. But
I'm sure that a little bit of cash would fix that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
He's
The
annoying. We can buy them off.
I
Well,
can buy off the
yeah,
guy that I
and
claimed was trying to rape me. It's okay. That's not scarring.
well, considering that she rolled 19 successes on 16 dice for con,
Oh goodness.
kind of came off.
Very believable.
Extremely. Like, just about every fucking dice that she rolled for that roll came up a 6, and there was edge burnt, so lots of rerolls. It came off, and that guy took it, and he took it in the spirit it was intended. It's all in good fun
Right.
between players, but yeah.
I will say I think I will.
It was a very lucky character, actually.
Yeah.
There were a lot of events where she rolled extremely hot, and were 4/5 to over 100% successes in dice pools of above 10 to 20. Like there was a street race, and I said she's a driving rigger.
Yeah.
And there was a street race that she got conned into performing for another job with the same group. And, so many successes were rolled in this driving mini game that the GM had come up with that she had time to stop in a Starbucks and get a takeaway green tea, I guess it was, and still have time to drive to the finish line and then drive back to where the other person she was racing was, and then back to the finish line again before they got there. It was really, really, really lucky on the dice rolls, and they were rolled in front of other people. No cheating. It was just
got lucky.
hilarious. Extremely lucky. Yeah, I'm done.
See, Shadowrun's the first game I ever played, so first edition Shadowrun. And so it's always going to have a place in my heart. But I will say,
me too.
There was, and I don't remember all of the why, but I was in one game where we had to have 2 characters. It was a small table. I think there's only like 3 of us playing. And so that was the beginning of a character that became an NPC. And her name was Kismet, and the other character was Bob. Bob was not very particularly bright, but he was very big. He was a very big troll. And Kismet was a mage, because I figured it was a good dichotomy. Strong, smart, make things happen, right? Eventually, there was all sorts of, because I'd played them off and on as NPCs and, Fixers and Mr. Johnson for so long that most of the people hadn't been there in the beginning when it was just, she's a mage. So people got all sorts of crazy theories. And I used to love the theories that were created. Like, she's an immortal elf. She's actually a dragon who's pretending to be an elf. There was all sorts of crazy stuff. And I kind of always, because I love when your table comes up with crazy stuff and you just kind of incorporate that. But I just couldn't change the character. She was always just an elf. But it was fun. And I kind of miss Shadowrun sometimes. It might be why I like 1879 so much. You get some of that feel to it sometimes, depending on the table. Bob once offered to tear someone's head off and roll it down a hill because the person was aggravating Kismet. Trolls can do that. It's fine. It's a very troll-like ability. How about you, Mr. Pink? You got a favorite character? Mr. Pink has been eaten by the cosmos.
I was gonna say.
No, Mr. Pink was in the bathroom getting drugs.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
I
if you're
mean,
going to
that's
get drugs, the
similar.
bathroom is a good place to get them.
Well, I mean, the street is a bad place. I'm told that that's where the cops are, and they disapprove. So probably the bathroom's better. Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, I've got more than one.
Well, let's hear
At
them.
least one of them, I do not remember the character. I remember the game. It was Shadowrun. It was early on, and I managed to get 10 ones on 11 dice.
I've had that
Okay.
day. I've had that day.
And it was just like, this does not happen. I was like, well, okay, it did.
It's statistically improbable, but it can happen.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing I remember about that more than anything else was the GM is like, you have fucked up so bad. And I've got to narrate what just happened.
So what happened?
And I know we lost at least one character. It wasn't me.
10 ones and you didn't die? See, that's a good story.
I was making a social roll.
Ah. So you're just me on a normal day. You're just awkward. It's okay.
Yeah.
We got you, boo.
And I completely fucked up the, hey, can we all just get along? And
Nope. Now it's a fight.
all of a sudden the bullets just start flying.
All of a sudden, no one likes each other. All right, so
And
what's the
on
other
the
one?
Opposite side of that, this was someone else's character. It was Earth Dawn. We were in the mountains, and we hit wyverns. And he nailed the roll, and he did the exact opposite. So he was like, yeah, can we just talk about this? And the wyverns stopped. Because some of them have at least a tiny bit of intelligence.
I actually really enjoy tables that can get non-combat things. I think they're fun.
The last one is one I think I've said before. It was something I was running. We had a almost total party kill. And it was the party's fault. They flat out admit they were stupid. I'm saying that just in my defense. And as a part of the party kill, the mob accountant ran like hell and got away. And with that, we, same world, restarted what we were doing because we had a lot of dead people. And I got to play, and I was playing a monk in hiding. The monk was the accountant that killed everybody. And it took them forever to figure that one out.
That's awesome. How about you, Lady Styx?
Thinking about this one all week, and the one that it keeps popping into the front of my brain is not the one that I thought I would talk about, but it's just been lurking there, kind of poking me, resurrecting herself. So one of the first games I played other than D&D and Shadowrun we called it TFAS, Teenagers from Outer Space. I don't know if anybody's played it. But it was a rollicking good time. It's kind of a comedic game. The goal is to set yourself up and the GM to set you up in some ridiculously stupid situation. You get to play that you're a total idiot. And the worst, I mean, like, it's kind of like, horror movie type stuff. The more you do and survive while doing I'd love to be the first person to open the door and walk in backwards while I laugh at you kind of stuff, the more better you do in the game. So this character, the scenario was that we were all attending an interplanetary high school, and it was kind of a riff off of Scooby-Doo, where there were a group of us that we tried to solve the mysteries, right? And I played for a kind of a set of characters that it was supposed to be this her name, the character that everybody thought was the main person was Galaxina, the princess extraordinaire, and her female butler, Bob. And the twist was it was decided at the last minute by interplanetary security that they couldn't have Galaxina show up at the high school as herself because she was too high profile. So they had Bob and Galaxina switch names and roles. And so all week I've been remembering all the weird stuff that this intergalactic princess got into as Bob the butler, and how freeing it was, and how she could just do all the stuff she could never do before. Kind of stupid, kind of redundant, but definitely a really, really fun, good memory of a game and a character that nobody cared if you said the dumb thing. It actually was rewarded. It was a really good learning experience as a beginning role player, if that makes sense.
I mean, you were
And it was
Hannah
one of the
Montana before Hannah Montana.
kind of, yeah. And
Yes.
it was a very interesting group because it was the only time for the first 10 years that I role played that there was one other female in the group that played that actually played a character. She only ever played in our TFOS game. She was a girlfriend of one of the guys that played, and she actually was really good, but she had been hanging out with this group of people long enough that she believed when they looked at her and said, well, girls don't play. So she never tried to play, Shadowrun or any of the other games that we all, I was like, sure, I'll do that. I'll do anything once kind of thing.
Right.
But she was just amazing. And she always ended up playing some huge, big, a football guy or something like that. It was always what you would not expect her to have chosen to play. As a matter of fact, the joke was, I played the characters that everybody thought she was going to play, and she played the characters that everybody thought her boyfriend would play. But yeah, no, it's just a fun game, and I'm fun enough that I'm going to try to probably in the next several weeks for potentially you'll buy myself a copy of Teenagers from Outer Space and try to find some people to play with me. So yeah,
Um,
but yeah,
I believe that's still in print with R. Telsorian.
probably yeah. It's been around forever.
And Artel Sorian are nice guys. Girls
Yes, they
too,
are.
peoples. All right, Philip, I think you're up.
Oh.
What do you got for me?
All right. I'll go with something interesting. So I do not get to play often, mostly because GM for life, yo.
I feel your
But
pain.
when I do,
Yep.
I try to make it interesting for myself. So we were playing a game at a convention, and the game was called Dread. Is anyone familiar with Dread?
It sounds
I've
vaguely
played it.
familiar, but
It ranks up there
yeah.
with like Paranoia and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, the thing with Dread is that it is a horror game, and every time you make any sort of movement or this or that or the other, anytime you do pretty much anything, you have to pull a piece from a Jenga tower. And when that tower collapses, your character dies. And if it's your turn and that happens, your character dies. Doesn't matter how it happens. Bad times. So just to set the preface for that, because I knew what I was getting into with this. And every time you do something risky, you're gonna have to pull a piece. But I thought this would be fun. So we were playing a prompt, which was a horror thing. And, the thing with Dread is they give you prompts and you can do, like, choose what you want to give some background. And I'm like, all right, I came up with my character. I didn't really start telling anyone the background story to it because that didn't happen how we were introduced. The first time a conflict happens, everyone in the party except my character pulls a gun out from somewhere. And I'm just like, it's like, every one of you has a gun. This is a Call of Cthulhu level type of thing, and every one of them just pulls a gun. Immediately something bad happens. So that just like giving you some idea of what the standards were of this. I chose a character that I decided owed money to the mob, and in doing so ended up, I believe, selling his family's organs, getting the money, spending the money on amphetamines. It got bad. And so he had to draw basically for every action, because of the amount of pills he was taking, he had to pull 3 things from the Jenga tower. I did not make that thing fall once that night. And I just started doing ludicrously stupid things, and somehow was the only survivor of the horror.
Because you have steady Jenga hands?
Yeah, and also I noticed something. If you're playing a character in a horror game and you just fully run full tilt into someone having a breakdown, like um like a falling down level breakdown, it just completely disarms any of the horror parts.
All right, let's see. Dire Sith, are you talking tonight or just text?
I'm just going to say it was mentioned earlier. Some of the most fun I've ever had has been Paranoia.
Because Paranoia is
Oh
cool.
yeah, Paranoia is amazing.
I've
Not
played
necessarily
that.
for character development, but for sheer fun.
Yeah.
I
Your
have
character
played,
usually
but
doesn't get to develop.
Yeah,
not my
This
no.
is
favorite
Paranoia.
one.
Do you want to give us a favorite character or a favorite character somebody else has played?
Sure. I actually did have a fun character from Paranoia. In Paranoia, you have to be a mutant and part of a secret society, both of which make you a traitor. So at one point, he realized that the other players were part of secret societies and were mutants. So he turned them all into the computer and got a big security clearance promotion. And the rest of the people got reincarnated or cloned and had no idea that he did this. But he didn't figure
That's
out that
pretty
they
funny.
were still mutants and still part of the secret societies afterwards. He couldn't figure it out afterwards, just the one time.
That's pretty funny. All right. Any other favorite characters or characters maybe not yours that you liked?
My favorite Paranoia kill was killing a player because they accidentally broke a sink.
Why was that a death sentence?
Because it's paranoia, and they had misused the
That's fair.
complex's machinery.
I was going to say, because you can?
I was going to say it's paranoia that, you know, it doesn't get too deep.
They were just trying to wash their hands, and they failed that role so hard.
All right. So here's my question, everyone. What makes a memorable character? If you picked one thing, what's that thing that makes a character memorable?
Fun you had playing it.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I would say that for me, it is either character concept, where you create whatever backstory, whatever combination of skills and abilities or equipment or whatever that just ends up being like a really, really cool concept, or spectacular successes or spectacular failures.
For me, I think it would be characters that go kind of a different direction or way than you think they may go or should go than you plan to play them. And it just works. They're just so memorable that it just works.
I think I'm kind of in line with you. I like unexpectedness from characters, or even if I know because it's my character, that the rest of the party doesn't expect. Like, I may have told this one. I had a Star Wars character who was actually originally being trained by the Sith, because you take them as Padawans as little kids, and she got to like the final test where she had to kill somebody and she couldn't do it. And we were playing after 456 with, you know, Jedi Academy being brought back and all that. And I don't remember how timeline wise she was involved in stuff, but because I think it was after. But anyways, the point was is that she's with the Jedi now, and she doesn't want them to know that she's formally trained as a Sith. And they get sent on this mission where they're supposed to stop crystal mining off of a star. And the problem is that our detonators for the bombs got foobarred. And when this started, you know, they go and they're like, how are we even getting on this thing? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, trust me, I have a plan. And they're like, okay. And, you know, they do the whole, who are you? What are you doing here? And she basically goes, I am blah, 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 you know, Padawan to Sith Lord, whatever. And it totally works. They get in and they're like, wow, you played that well. I got this. And then she basically can, you know, she actually gets a dark side point because she force choked somebody and drops them off of a walkway. Basically sort of proving her Sithness, right? And when the detonators come up broken, I don't remember how we broke them. She goes, I have a plan. Don't worry. And since every time so far this has worked out, they're like, okay. She's like, you guys get back on the ship. I have a plan. I'll meet you. And they said, okay. And the GM knew, but they didn't figure it out. I had passed him a note, so he knew what was going on. And they're like, well, how long do we have to wait? How long does it take her to get back? And the GM's like, well, it's been a while. They waited longer. They wait like a day. And then they find out that it had blown up. I think they waited almost 2 days before they realized that she had been on there. She detonated. So she had died. And they were ticked off. It was amazing in the fact that they were so mad about it. They're like, we could have found some other way. But it was a good ending for the character. Like she kind of redeemed herself, type of thing. So I think for me, it's that either it takes a route that I didn't expect when I was creating the character, or it takes a route that the other players didn't expect. I like occasionally surprising them, I think. What about you, Matty? What makes a memorable character?
I don't know. Usually for me, it's if I'm playing them.
Just the fun in playing them, which is awesome.
Yeah. Like, sometimes I remember other people's characters if they do something especially fun that especially tickles my fancy, but I don't get to play that much.
We got to fix that, but your time zone difference is painful sometimes. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. No
Like, you
kidding.
must never sleep, dude.
I don't if I'm playing. Seriously, like most of the games I've played with Americans, I've had to play at like 2 in the morning, or 3 in the morning, or 4 in the morning.
This is why I always write Maddie's tired a lot.
It's worse for Europe.
Are we planning to do a Europe-friendly
Yeah,
podcast?
I think we're gonna try
Screw
it
those
out.
guys.
Screw
They don't
those guys.
exist. No, seriously, like,
Technically, it's internationally friendly, which means, Maddie, if you have a hour that works better, please to be suggesting. But internationally friendly, so it's going to be on the weekend, so that we can set the time, hopefully, more friendly for more people that don't usually get to come. But it'll only be like once a month. February, I know it will be during FredoniaCon, which there might be a few people on here who don't know about FredoniaCon. Wingtail, Philip. It is our online convention. We started it back in, I believe, 2020, 2021.
21.
Is it 21?
I thought it was COVID, so
It was
whatever
during
year
the
that was.
COVID, 2020, 2021 area. And it's, I think it's a good time. I don't know that we take ourselves very seriously, but it's a good time. Our art directors will usually do like live drawings. We usually have people from the various lines give kind of updates. I think last year I made Todd and Ross play Leviathan.
No.
The first one had this guy who wanted to do a comedy skit, and he was supposed to get me the kind of like, this is what's going to be in the comedy skit. And he didn't get it to me. I was like, well, I'm a little concerned, but what are you going to do? Because at this point, it's like last minute. And it was bad. It wasn't good.
I remember that.
Yeah,
And I know exactly who it was, and I know exactly why. I think that guy is off his meds.
I'm just gonna say that as far as comedy skits go, it was definitely not comedy gold.
It was a lot of Earth Dawn puns about obsidian and cinnamon rolls.
Well, I mean, those were always funny though. So
These weren't.
these weren't. Yeah, actually, these weren't. It was bad. But we usually do some sort of like Jackbox game on one of the nights or something similar. Just as, blow off steam, play silly games together. So I'm always open to suggestions on things we should do. Last year I did Cowboys versus Cogni with British Joel, and totally trounced his ass.
Too.
What?
I think he did.
He did a Victorian cooking. We did Victorian cooking with Joel too. Yeah. But more importantly, I trounced his ass because cowboys are much cooler. Just saying. Trounced his ass. He tried to be all about like Cockney's a very small area, blah blah blah. I think he just wasn't prepared for the I will bring the cowboy to the cowboy show. Because I actually really like the Wild West in that time period. So, I don't know, but I think Joel and I are going to do something again. I don't know what it is yet. But I already know this. I will beat him. Mwahahaha.
It helps when you're the judge and jury and
It
I was
does.
gonna say,
It totally
yeah.
does. Oh, come on. If you listen to it, I did. I trounced him. And I didn't even get into hat lore. There's a whole thing on cowboy hat lore. There's a whole...
So, I do think it's funny that you could make a somewhat historically accurate game that features a cowboy, a samurai, a consulting investigator, and they all receive their mission orders by fax.
And a pirate.
Yes, and a pirate. And they all receive their missions by fax.
Yeah, well, and also, there's, somebody from the House of Lords sipping tea and refusing to be helpful because it's all period. It's why it's such a great time period. Like, I have friends who are SCA people. Actually, British Joel is a SCA person. Player? Member? Because it's a club. It's a club thing. But and I have friends who are in it and I like them and I love history, so that's all cool. But I really like that area, that time period because of exactly what Philip's saying. Like, anything damn near that you come up with, you can have in that time period. It's awesome. I'm actually hoping.
Aztecs.
Huh?
No Aztecs.
No dinosaurs.
You could
so in
absolutely
1879 you can have
Maori
dinosaurs.
warriors wandering around.
As far as the Aztec never really left. They just got incorporated. So that's not totally a out thing. They were just incorporated.
100 dudes on horses with guns kind of took care of that.
More importantly, smallpox and syphilis took care of that.
Again, they didn't all die.
What do you think they had? Guns and smallpox and syphilis.
But they didn't all die.
They
all guys are so negative.
It absolutely destroyed the culture.
Oh, no, the culture, but the people
to the point
themselves.
Where they ceased to be.
Well, not exactly.
They were no longer distinct as a culture.
They were no longer distinct as a culture. That is correct. I would agree with Matty.
Matty is always right.
Matty is always right. I'm not going to argue it. And that is the trump card, so I will leave that be. All right.
Are you even allowed to say that nowadays?
No.
Trump card?
Yes.
You know what the Japanese
what
call
are they
playing
do?
cards?
What are they going to do? Yell at
Trumps.
me? I don't care.
Well, you're the one who wants to go international, remember?
Well, if they want to be mad about that, then there's so much worse things I could say. I'm just saying. So much worse.
People will find an excuse to be mad about just about fucking anything.
Anything, which is why I've given up on worrying about whether I make somebody mad. And if you're so petty that you're mad over Trump card, which is an old saying, then I can't fix you. I'm not trying. Because I'm old.
Well, there are ways to fix people like that.
I got told shooting people was wrong, Matty. Just saying.
A good vet can fix people.
I didn't say anything about right or wrong. That's purely moral judgment.
She said that they were fixable.
We're just talking strict numbers, you know.
Strict numbers. Then I was a friend of mine sent me a meme earlier today.
Most of them got syphilis already.
And basically, it was something like, if she's upset, buy her a cannon. Bitches love cannons. And I will say right now, yes, we do. Cannons are fun. So take that. All right.
Look, I kind of want a 3-pounder
I have-
sandwich right about now.
Well, I have actual cannons, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, so most people don't have the land ability to fire a cannon.
Technically, I have almost 11 acres, and really, it's not technically safe to fire it off here.
No, it
Cannons
is not. But you can set it up to fire into the hill.
You can. It's called a burn, and yes, you can. Otherwise, you just go to your friend's house who has even more property, because we're Midwestern Americans, and that's what we do. It's like fireworks are all the time. But it's normal.
In the Midwest, nobody looks at you weird when you have a cannon on a trailer behind your vehicle.
They don't. You know what you do get? You know what you do get? You get people going, dude, where'd you get the awesome cannon? That's what you get.
The cannon.
You got too many cryptids.
I remember reading an article in Popular Mechanics magazine 30 years ago when I was a young and impressionable person. Well, for a given quantity of person. Anyway, the point of the story is that for this feature article, they drove around all 50 states that you guys have with a 20 mil anti-aircraft pom-pom gun on the back of their what do you guys call them? Pickup.
Okay.
And the states where they got stopped and the states where they didn't, and where it was legal and where they had to get permits and shit. And I'm like, America's fucking cool.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many states are like, we stopped you, but only because we're like, that's cool.
I have a serious question, something that's been I've always wondered about, but never dared to ask. What's the deal with Civil War reenactments? Is that like the SCA but with guns?
No, but yes. So there are
blank.
Not necessarily. Okay, so in combats they use blanks, but a lot of the ones that do like that type of reenactment have actually. They usually do have like target shooting competitions. My father was very big into marksmanship shooting on all sorts of levels, but that included black powder and. So,
okay.
I went to a lot of that type of thing when I was young.
Yeah, a lot of marksmanship with cannons.
Crossover? Is there crossover between Ren Fair type peoples?
Yes,
absolutely.
So my father didn't do like SCA, but he did like Civil War and before when they were first settling. There's a term for that. My brain's stupid.
It's
he did a lot of black powder stuff for that.
Black powder, it kind of all falls into black powder, but it's colonization and
yeah, because we had a 20-foot teepee.
Yeah,
we had a 20-foot teepee and a lean-to that we drug to those, and he sold leather goods that he made, and used that as the way to convince my mom so that he wasn't just spending money. It would cover all the costs of traveling around, going to basically shooting competitions. So, yeah.
So in the SCA technically is medieval through very early Renaissance. Then it's also quote unquote period reenactment. So it's really about like getting the food right, getting the clothing right, like living the life while you're at the event.
They're the only other people other than me who know that shortbread cookies are the first cookie. Like other people think that this is a crazy thing, but the SCAers are like, yes, and they're totally in on this.
Absolutely. So the other thing though too is like Renaissance fairs here in the US and most Renaissance fairs internationally are really more
fantasy these days.
Yeah. You do it during quote unquote office hours, and the minute the gate closes and the mundanes are gone. You're out of you may run around in your garb because that's what you brought, but it's not the food. The junk food comes out. You don't have to speak.
Actually, I was gonna
Give
say
more.
no. It's worse than that these days. Most Ren fairs these days, even the people
It's a
who
lot
are
of
there are
fantasy.
wearing their fairy wings and stuff like that. There's nothing historical about them anymore. They are
And then there's groups
simply
that do specifically just war reenactment, like the Civil War and stuff like that here in the United States. But then there's also groups that do, like in California, I belong to a group that did early gold history and colonization history. So like I did period clothing. I taught weaving and cooking over an open campfire and, all that
Shipping your
how to
laundry to Hawaii. That's
no,
fucking
how to do it.
insane.
I did it. They did used to do that, but
I know they used to do that. That's why I made the
gold panning. I
reference.
did gold panning and stuff. I taught. That's like that's part of what I taught. But I got into that because I did SCA stuff, if that makes sense.
so
But there's different groups that
there's
focus on different things.
I was gonna say the Ren Fair people are less likely to cross over than your history buffs, which is going to be your
Yeah,
SCAers and your war reenactors and all of
yeah,
those. There's kind of a
I would
big
agree with
jump
that.
between your history buffs and your I like to wear costumes.
Yeah. And there's different,
That,
I mean, different,
mm,
there's more variety of the people who like do the history reenactment because there's some people who are only interested in it for like leatherworking or cooking or the clothing, or it's hard to find people like I was considered a generalist because I knew a little bit about everything versus like, I used to think gaming conventions were bad for getting stuck talking, oh, this is my game and these are my stats. And trust me, you will get the same thing will happen at like a historical reenactment event where someone will go off on the appropriate stitch length for cruel or
Oh,
whatever, if that makes sense.
and there's different
It's
levels. Like
crazy.
I have friends who like okay. I have friends who literally made their own wooden buttons and then
Hmm.
wrap thread around them and the whole thing, right?
Hmm.
And then I had other friends who that wasn't their focus but they would talk about how they did this great costume, but oh, tisk tisk, you used a machine.
Or better
And
yet, you wore actual underwear underneath it.
right? And it would turn into these whole big things like, look, if you were a rich person who could have afforded this outfit, you had a whole bunch of servants who would have helped with the sewing. So how is the sewing
Exactly.
machine much different? But it depended on like the level, like, and some people were just reenactment snobs. Like it's a whole
Yes.
thing.
Yes. When I was a child, I grew up in a group that was not just considered snobs, but like you didn't buy fabric. You made your own fabric. You processed your own linen. I mean, like the whole thing. You made your own shoes. It was that was where I learned that yes, technically it is a historical food. Looks like shit, tastes like shit, but you can survive off of it. Does anybody else want to eat it? No, but it's historically accurate. Ha ha ha. Yeah. That's
okay,
where I
so
developed my love for oatcakes.
one more question then, because Americans are fucking crazy.
We're awesome that way. We like being crazy.
Is there a lot of crossover with people who are into survival and prepping and shit? If you're
Yes.
all making your own cloth and
Yes.
buttons and
There
Yes,
is
wow,
but
some
less with the medieval
where do you have the
reenactments and
fucking
more
time?
with your
more with like black powder.
colony and Civil War type. But yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The people prepping for the apocalypse tend to be a little more red state, and the Renaissance fairs seem to be a lot more blue state. So
Not
there is
really,
some
because
dichotomy there.
I'm a very
No,
red state, and we have two huge run fairs. A A couple
And
of smaller ones, so
honestly,
no.
the
One sec.
SCA is everywhere.
Oh yeah,
And
I
in
mean
the SCA,
Europe.
you then have different groups that do like different. You have people who do just the Scots. You have people who just do the Norse, and you
Okay,
have people
there's
who
the
just do
crazy
Italy.
ones.
Or
There's a crazy group that does, oh gosh, what is it? It's based off of a book, and they're not even actually reenactors, and they piss off the normal SCAers, but they show up at all the major events. The ones who think that,
Harry
women are
Potter fans?
slaves. It's based off of what's his
yeah,
name's books.
Handmaid's
the
Tale.
Gorians, and
The
that has
Gorians, that
nothing
is
to
it. Yeah,
do with
those guys. And they're at
yeah.
and there's a huge argument
ever-
because like why? But they're there.
Why are you here?
But
Yeah.
they are.
They're also
And they do
supposed
it
to be
because they think
sci-fi
that that's
series.
the lifestyle that people lived in the time, and it's totally there's
Not.
nothing. I mean, it's a fantasy book. It's not
Yeah.
existent.
I know.
It's sci-fi fantasy. It's terrible.
Yep.
I know, but
Yep.
they go
That
to
they
all the
still
major
show
SCA
up at
events.
all the wars. As a matter of fact, the most SCA events now are gated events that you have to either have an invite, pay for a membership, or know the gate code to get in.
Oh, see,
I
they
thought
still
Because of
manage to
that
get
group
in
of
because they'll
people.
pay for their memberships. My understanding
Oh,
is
yeah.
is that they segregate those guys to over there.
Yeah.
Those guys are
Yes.
over there.
But the Gorians are still
Always by
around.
the
I thought
privies.
they
Yep.
You
were.
have to wander through them to get to the privies usually.
Yep, the Gorians are still there.
That's hilarious.
At least that's what I was
I
last
thought
told.
they vanished.
They sound like Hare Krishnas.
They're they've read these books and have decided that these books are the thing, and it's one of those all women are submissive whether they admit it or not. They're
It's
an
also
odd
fun.
they're an odd little group. Let's just call it that. Odd little group.
These guys are hilarious. They actually made some movies off of the Gore books, and
Yes, they
they're
have.
terrible movies. They are all on either Riff Tracks or MST3K.
Yep.
It is the most ham-fisted. God, I wish I was Robert Howard writing you've ever read.
I'm just saying they exist. But
It's a
Thought they
thing.
died out. I mean, I assume they died out because they can't reproduce.
They are like early in incel, but they're probably here's the problem. They find girls that are happy to play this and enact this and live this life. It's just
well,
basically imagine a medieval version or a post-apocalyptic version of tradwives. They're happy to do it. They love it. They live for the weekends when they can go do this.
I was warned about the Gorians through the old Something Awful days.
I was warned. I've gone to one SCA event. I don't think there was any Gorians at that particular one, but I had offers to go to a bigger one. I think it's in like Pennsylvania or something. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay, but
that's
you have to
kind of it.
understand, you don't go over, and I'll show you where, but you don't go there.
Don't go
Because
there.
yeah, but apparently they've had issues in the past with them saying stuff to women passing by and things like
Oh
that.
yeah, they're horrible.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that I know how to tell someone to shut the fuck up. I'm just saying. I'm an American. We're good at saying shut the fuck up. But apparently, yes, because of the whole whether they know it or not type of thing. And it's like, yeah. I'll give other off-air comments on that one, but not on air today.
Which, speaking of off air, it is 9/11.
Are you going
Just
to turn
saying.
into a pumpkin?
I'm
I am.
highly considering it.
I have to teach elementary music tomorrow, which means a whole lot of
Yeah.
off-key singing, in case you're curious. That's what that means, a whole lot of off-key singing. But hey, I think that I'm the only person they're calling now because I actually know where to find middle C on a piano, which makes me a lot more versed in music than most of the subs.
I'm sorry.
Now, I like music. Like I said, the last time we literally colored and we played songs. And we did talk a little bit about songs that the original creator decided wasn't really their songs. Like, and I wouldn't play the original Nine Inch Nails, and I don't think I even played Johnny Cash's version, but Hurt. I did play Prince's, he gave it to Sinead O'Connor. My brain's stupid. We must be getting late.
We are getting late.
Nothing compares to you.
Oh, yeah.
They're vastly different, and yes, she did such a better job. And she's also like the only chick that can pull off that bald, super short, and still look really pretty and feminine. Like, that's a magic power that I don't think you see very often.
I hear you. All right, Andy, I just got told by the fur kids it's time that I am pumpkined.
Mine probably want to go OUT before I put them to bed.
Yeah, that's part of what I'm getting told.
How much you want to bet that the rest of my laundry's a mess, UG?
He's always welcome at my house because I'll just give him a basket of laundry and tell him to go crazy. I don't care.
There's
I
a
can always
picture
refold
of
stuff.
Frog, and the picture's literally she climbed up into one of the laundry baskets, messed up the entire thing, and is like nested and is happy as a clam. So proud of herself. So proud.
Yep.
Papillon.
My baby.
All right.
So anyway, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody.
If you
and
have
see you next
a
week.
topic for next week or future weeks, let me know. I put a couple of dates up because I was thinking about starting in December, the once a month. If we manage to do it once a month, we'll see how it goes. Internationally friendly time. Matty, pick a time that's a little less painful.
Pick a time that's good for you, Matty.
Yeah. I'm willing to...
No one will turn up, though.
Huh?
No one will turn up if I pick a time. It'll be like 4 a.m. for you guys.
Well,
For you, Matty, I would do it.
I would do it too.
I would. I
I'm
don't
not
know how
sure
good the
about-
conversation will go, but I would do it.
Exactly. You might get a lot of Uggs and need more coffee, but yeah.
Tea, but yes. Also, Matty, I think that we should have a Matty Picks movie at FredoniaCon.
Well, we can workshop the movie choice for that, but we'll keep it secret to ourselves.
Yeah. Because terrifying the rest of humanity is good. With that,
It's good.
Lady Six has said goodbye. Anybody else want to say goodbye before we turn off the recording?
Good night, all.
Wingtail, you can say goodbye
Bye-bye.
too.
Goodbye.
See? And I will say good night. And with that, if I can get the mouse to work with me, I will do ha-ha.